Hello, fellow thrill and horror enthusiasts, and welcome back to Wuno, your weekly Universal news and updates. If you don't already know, I make weekly videos on Universal Florida, where I cover all of the changes and news from the previous week. But I know most people who came to this video are most likely here for one major update that has come next week, so let's just dive into what's new. On a very disappointing note, Halloween Horror Nights 2020 has been canceled. Now, not all is terrible for the cancellation, as it is just the 2020 event that was canceled, and not Halloween Horror Nights 30 in general that was canceled, meaning even though the anniversary for 30 Years of Fears won't be happening in 2020, it will still be happening in 2021. But one main question comes to mind when you see this announcement if you are informed on the topic of HHN. Why? The event has released official merchandise that has already been shipped out to thousands of people. Internal and external scare actor auditions were held, cast members were told that where they would be working in the mazes, scare actor dining was confirmed, and the website even just straight up said that the event would be happening at one point. We have a ton of evidence that we could look forward to the screams almost no matter what, so why pull a wild card on all of your frequent fans and cancel it all? Okay, I'll admit I might be a little bit upset that it's canceled and I'm making this seem more dramatic than it is, but still. Anyways, to answer my own question, is we were never told any specifics. All we got was refunded tickets and an official announcement on the Halloween Horror Nights website. But what we as the guests did not get that cast members did is where we can get as close as we can to an explanation. An email was sent to all cast members that had a role in the houses or scare zones from the president of Universal Orlando that states, "This year has played out in ways that none of us has expected, and we have had to make some difficult decisions under these unpredicted circumstances. I wanted to let you know about another difficult decision we are announcing today. Universal Orlando Resort will not hold our Halloween Horror Nights event this year, and will be focusing exclusively on operating our theme parks for daytime guests using the enhanced health and safety procedures already in place. I know this is disappointing, especially because this year would be celebrating HHN's 30th anniversary. I am disappointed too, but this is the right decision from our guests and our team members." What this email makes it seem is Halloween Horror Nights was canceled due to health concerns, which does actually make sense when you think about it. All of Halloween Horror Nights is based on scare actors coming close and personal with you and being put in small areas with lots of people, which due to COVID-19 is just not possible anymore. That's not all this email had to say, though. It does also go on to explain the future plan of Halloween Horror Nights and what the crew that works year-round to bring us our Fear Festivals will be doing with their newly acquired free time. Let's just say it won't be wasted. The email tells us that 2021 is already in the works, and all that spare time that they now have compared to other years in 2021 should hopefully help make a ultimate homecoming of horror. But wait, if you watch my videos only for Halloween Horror Nights updates, I actually still somehow have updates for the events that have nothing to do with it being canceled. Last week, we watched the facade for the tribute store being built from the looks that they have no intention of taking it down. I say this because they are now adding sticks to the bottom and red lights in the words that somehow really tie together the facade quite nicely. It seems a lot of people agree with me on this, as a whole lot of people are lined up to go shopping at the tribute shop, even though it isn't even open yet, and even refuse to leave after being told this. I don't even know what to say about Florida people anymore. But enough on the store, and more of what will be in it when it actually is opened. As of last week, the merchandise for Universal's first Horror Nights, called the Fright Fest, was taken from the online shop due to having a misprinted date on it. Well, it has come back better and more accurate than ever. So if you want a Fright Fest shot glass or shirt, and yes, their importance come in that order to me, go ahead and take another look at shopuniversalorlando.com. So that's all I have on Halloween Horror Nights, and I want to say I have a weird feeling that won't be the last time I'll be saying that soon. Don't know why, just have a strange feeling. But Halloween Horror Nights isn't the only big thing that has constantly been getting updates in my channel. So let's go over to the other park and actually completely ignore the thing that I was going to talk about so I can talk about the safety guidelines instead, because you can't walk around the parks without them. Universal updated their safety guidelines so that now all guests must wear a face covering unless if they are actively eating and drinking. They also put a new rule saying if you are eating and drinking that you must remain socially distanced from other guests. Okay, now that I've said all of that, we can actually take a trip into Islands of Adventure to look at the big updates I speak of. The Velocicoaster. So, something unexpected happened in the construction progress this week. is that we have track progression. Not in the normal way of actual new track being added, though. No, that would be much too easy for me to explain. Universal has added brakes to the top of the top hat in order to stop riders from performing a Team Rocket style "we're blasting off again" when they reach the top of the element. This should not affect the estimated 70-mile-an-hour exit the cars are estimated to make from the top hat, but we obviously won't know until the ride is actually open, which we still don't have an official date for. If you start to look down at the mess of rockworks and buildings below, you can actually see an area potentially being prepared to make a water formation that runs from the ride to the lake. This would be an opportunity for the coaster to have a water element a little bit later in the ride. While you're here, you can also walk the literal 30 feet to the bright orange building that has now gotten some more paneling on it, so it looks more like a building and less like a giant block of orange jello. Also, in the last week, even more of the rockwork framing has been detailed to look like, well, rocks, and to somehow add even more to the visual business of this construction site, even more rock framework has been built. Okay, so enough complaining about how much is going on in the construction site of the Velocicoaster. As I am extremely excited for this ride when it opens and don't want to give any signs I'm not, I'm just extremely sarcastic. Anyways, insert transition to next topic here, and boom, crepes. Central Park Crepes in Central Park has not yet opened, however it's inching closer and closer as the days go on. The stand is now actually equipped with crepe makers, sinks, and Coca-Cola freestyle machines. I can almost smell the overpriced mediocre theme park crepes now. Yeah, I'm shaming my favorite place on earth for being too expensive, but let's not worry about big things like big prices and instead table the turns and talk about small changes I found this week. I'm actually going to start with a fun fact this week, which is that last week, 3 years ago, it was announced that Dragon Challenge would be closing indefinitely. A tragic ride to lose, but I gotta say, Hybrids is not half-bad ride. My next rapid-fire update is that Universal added 2 new masks to their already growing line. They finally added a Hufflepuff mask, meaning you can now collect all 4 houses' masks, and also added a Minion mask, so you can have all of the mayhem you want while still having some style. Anyways, that's all I could find on Universal Orlando this week. If you actually made it this far, please consider leaving a like or pressing subscribe. I am literally 1 subscriber off of double digits and would love to hit that small but at the same time large goal. Anyways, now that all of that is said and done, thank you for watching, and this is Wuno, signing off.